discuss the importance of transition driving the IEP process.
Some thoughts on that. That doesn't mean that this is the answer all to this one by any means. Part of that, I think, has to do with having case managers, teachers understand that transition is a critical part of the IEP. As a matter of fact, the concept of transition, which is thinking about and planning for the future, is one that is not an addition to what already goes on in an IEP. It's not an add-on. And actually, the concept of thinking about and planning for the future actually should drive the IEP meeting. What goes on in this IEP, so that all discussion and decisions are actually decisions and discussions that lead towards the student achieving what it is that they want to do post-school. So it's maybe a change in our focus somewhat in saying that IEPs are no longer about putting together a plan to meet basic requirements on page 1, page 2, page 3, that the IEP is truly a long-range plan that leads to helping that student achieve what it is that they want to do. To me, then, that says that what we're doing in school and all the discussions and decisions that are being made and the courses that the kid's taking is actually in preparation for adult life. And that could be a change in how we view IEPs and how we sit down and put together IEPs and how we conduct IEP meetings.
Or how we view special education.
Or how we view special education.
And our role
right.
as a special educator in the high school.
If you want to make it more efficient, I think, then one of the questions is how do I make it more efficient? Well, the point is that you're going to do this regardless, because it is a requirement. Now the question is, how do you do it? And if you think about it from the standpoint that I have talked about through all the trainings that I've done, we're talking about an IEP that starts with the discussion on transition, starts with the discussion on measurable post-secondary goals, talks about where the kid is currently functioning, puts together that education plan, the long-range plan, and how all those pieces come together. And each part supports the other part so that you have a comprehensive long-range plan that takes a look at where the kid's going to go. Now, one way of approaching this is, instead of looking at this particular kind of planning or this IEP as a 12-month only document, which it really, it is 1 year, but you need to be able to think beyond 12 months. You need to be able to plan beyond 12 months. And actually what you're looking at here is a plan that's long range, multiple years, not just 12 months. So that means to me that as you put together this IEP, the first time that you sit down and you begin this kind of long range, big picture planning, it's going to take some time to do that with kids and families and others. But if you understand the concept of long-range planning, you also understand that every year that you come back, you don't have to start fresh. You don't throw away the plan that you did the year before. That the philosophy is, what you do is you take the plan, you review it, you revise it, you update it. And so while it may take more time initially to develop this kind of plan, in the long run, when you review and you revise and you update, it takes less time. Because that's what you're doing when you come back the second year and the third year and the subsequent years, is that you're reviewing, you're revising, you're updating it, and you're not starting from scratch and starting all over again. But that means too that for these case managers and IEP team members, is that, again, you have to think long range and you have to think about how this is a coordinated effort between schools, families, agencies, students, others, and that it does go beyond 12 months, it goes beyond 24 months, it goes actually into adult life.
So it's not just a special ed case manager responsibility, that there's a collaborative effort and shared responsibility.
No, I think, the key word here, Steve, is case management. And that is, how do I case manage this? And that doesn't mean, as a case manager, you're responsible for absolutely everything in it. It's a matter of how do I look at this plan and how do I case manage it by getting the right players involved in the right point in time around these various discussions and decisions that need to be made. I don't have to do it all. I don't have to be responsible for it all. I can't. It's impossible. How do I case manage it? And the thing about that, too, is that special education personnel have not been trained on how to do case management. What we've done is train teachers how to teach and how to develop these plans, these IEPs that are just 1 year only, and how to write annual goals, not do case management. But the key to it is good case management.